So, how are we all? Welcome back. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I shall continue for the moment.
A little bit late today, unfortunately.
Yes, late. Oh well. We're here.
Sounds
Stormy
like
Dragon
Ash is
Tavern.
about 40 years late. An old man.
Yes, this is my new Dungeon Master voice. No. But yes, hello, welcome back everyone.
Oh,
It is the Stormy
Jesus.
Dragon Tavern. We are playing the Trials of the Xel'nari. We are playing on 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And try and get straight back into it. So a little less mucking around like we normally do. As we do like all have ADHD, so it's easy to get distracted.
Wait, all
What's a
of
muck?
us?
I mean, I'm pretty sure, even if it's not diagnosed, let's be honest.
What?
I mean, I definitely do.
Surprise! Merry Christmas!
Rory, it's fine. We'll distract you from thinking about it shortly.
This is another curse. We're just getting more and more curses now. Is that all that's
Us
happening now?
proving my point.
Okay, moving on.
So after a daring escape from Monominoto, the
Hair
party...
flip, by the way.
Fine.
Where's the beard flip? Where's the beard flip, Kalan? Kalan? Wow, I just mixed both of those together.
Beard flip? Yeah.
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 Then there's Mike just watching it being like, no.
Mike's like, I do not have hair for this.
No, I did flick.
Oh, hef. No, I'm not saying that out loud.
Oh my.
Oh my. So, the party made a daring escape from the small little fortress up in the mountains after they were surrounded by some unknown demonic-like wolfish kind of creatures that flung poisoned barbs from their tails and seemed to be from hell itself. They attempted a interesting maneuver, which I shall forever dub the mug sled.
I like it.
I mean, is it wrong, though?
It's not wrong. I mean, like I said, interesting but effective.
Mm.
Sounds like someone mispronouncing a cocktail.
Mud
Either
sled,
way, it's
mug
spicy.
sled.
There's a toast in the background. Look at it.
Oh, she wants to go outside again.
Involving Thalai going giant and Sam transforming to carry one of the sleds. They rushed as fast as they possibly could with hot pursuit of the creatures, managing to just barely make it to the edge of the cliffs and dive off it, where the clever employer Featherfall saved their lives from a very sudden stop at the end. They
In
now...
Storm's case, levitate.
Yes.
Levitate.
With a slightly unconscious friend hanging
Missed
from
the
you.
soup tray.
Soup traits. Who has soup?
No one, unfortunately.
We have no
No
soup.
No soup for you!
No soup.
We have no soup, but we must trade.
Must straight. What are you doing, child?
The party has successfully landed about a little over halfway down the mountainside on one of the switchback paths, safely out of range of the creatures and, as far as they believe, out of range of their pursuit as well.
Yeah, well.
No. Oh boy. That
You've
doesn't
descended
sound
down
great.
far enough that you're out of the storm as well. So things have become a lot more peaceful since your descent. However, you now have 2 carts with no horses and some slightly damaged axles on them, so we'll probably need some repairs, but they can at least move along the road. It's just not going to be a comfortable journey. Sam is still got one of his transformations ready to go if he needs
That's
to carry
good.
a cart, and Thalai still has, I believe, about 40-ish to 45
Well,
minutes
I was
left
going
of...
to say, that
giant
entire
size.
run sequence was only a minute.
So, an hour basically of being big.
Yeah. Yeah, but I am enlarged for about
Yeah.
55 minutes, I think, and then
round about there.
I can add in another minute on top of that, and then Delia is
Yeah.
tapped out.
And
You have, of course, got some of the guards that you were able to save, as well as Akari and Asami, who have made it down. Asami is looking a little worse for wear after taking quite the brunt of the attacks in the last few moments, and Akari is definitely not looking good with the effects continuing to take hold of her.
also, both Sam and Thalai have almost an hour of long striding active on them, so their speed is increased by 10 feet.
Cute.
So
You're so nice.
half to 15, so I have 25 feet of movement.
I assume it was 40 half to 20.
No, because you half first and then add. Because my walking speed itself is reduced by half now, and then long strider would add on top of that. I think.
Okay.
Does that take it to 25?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that right, Ash, or would I add?
I believe that is correct.
Splendid.
So I have an extra 5 feet.
5 whole feet? Wow. What do you
No,
get
I
for your
can move.
shoes?
I can move an extra square. Great.
I was making a shoe joke, but okay, let's go with that.
I feel like that was a bit of a shoe-in.
Oh god.
Ash.
I mean, I
You
think
really shoehorned that one in, didn't you?
in your current size, I'm pretty sure Sam can fit quite literally in your boots.
Oh, I'm really large.
Oh, you said boots. Okay.
Only I can fit things in my boobs.
We leave immediately and with gusto down the mountain.
Yeah, we're not. We're going to dissect that one later.
What? I got a bra of holding, man. What do you think I was talking about?
Anyway, down the mountain, Ash. We're going down the mountain.
I was gonna actually say something relevant, and then you guys made me forget because puns. Oh, text on map. Is it possible to be white instead of black?
No.
Fuck.
I will try and make it change. but we'll see.
Also,
Yes.
if you want the thing, where is the thing for me to think?
I sent it to you on Discord.
Did you now? You
I
did
did.
indeed. What do you know? Thanks.
I know that I sent it to you. That's what I know.
So,
Hmm.
is the plan just to pile everybody into the carts and either be carried or walk? And just get the hell out of here.
That is
Yes.
entirely up to you.
I think if you can walk, you should walk, because too much weight might be a bit much if the wagons get speed going downhill.
Good point.
Mm.
You
I-
only have one body stopping them, not 2 or 4 horses.
I can walk and so I shall, but I will not be able to pull. I am too weak.
Storm is going to use her magical rope to attach herself to the cart and be dragged along for an hour. While floating.
Because levitate.
Yeah, she just levitates for an hour.
I thought levitate was 10 minutes.
Levitate, no, it's 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, why are you making this hard? I was like, oh yeah, levitate.
So you're wakeboarding without a wake.
Yeah, yeah. She's in fact nap-boarding. Oh, you're right, it is 10 minutes. Oh, that's just boring. Well, she's levitating for 10 minutes anyway.
Quick cat nap.
Yeah. I need that spell, catnap.
Yeah.
As soon as I got it, I went, yeah, I have to take that, because it's too appropriate for this party.
And she's gonna have
Also, it's just useful as all hell.
Mm.
she's gonna flake it for 10 minutes and then drop to the ground and be dragged literally and be like, oh fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Thog will drag you along if needed, having not removed the rope from around his waist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So instead Thog is dragging her behind.
Poor Thog.
I forgot.
He'll probably just pick her up, give her a piggyback.
She will happily accept a piggyback.
Alright, are you taking both carts?
can we take both carts?
I mean, we can give it a go.
The second cart was kind of kind of a meh card.
It was for alcohol, and the alcohol is gone.
Let's ditch the second card purely for the sake of not being weighed down by it.
Because we don't have... How many injured people do we have that can't walk? It's pretty much the elf.
Asami and Akari both need rest. Asami can walk, but is quite badly injured.
But they can sit in that cart, in our sheltered cart, while everyone else can at least walk.
Yeah, the guards are quite happy to walk along.
Yeah, so... Yeah. But it might be prudent to disassemble the cart as much as we can for any spare parts, especially the axles damaged on the other one. If we have the time.
I think we just move.
Just move?
As long as we have the broken pieces of the cart we're taking, I can fix it tomorrow.
Don't forget, we're making a big assumption. We are assuming that those creatures aren't following us.
I'm assuming nothing. Let's go.
Yeah.
just leave.
Let's just do it for the lols.
Alright. You make your way back on the road. Who is leading the cart? I assume Thalai is, as he's still
Well, so is it me? Because am I the
Well,
aminal?
I was going to say, you shrunk yourself down to a mouse, didn't you? Or no, you shrunk yourself back to a person, so you can...
Well, I popped out because I've only gotten one. I've only got an hour, I believe, in wild shape, and two, if I took the hit points.
You have 2 hours now in wild shape.
Oh, 2 hours. Oh, that's not technically
those
yet.
Take effect after a long rest.
No, it's half your level, so even prior to gaining the level, you had 2 hours per wild shape.
It's 2 hours, but if I've taken the hits, which I'm assuming I may not have finished watching the episodes, but I don't know.
You survived. Your elf still had hit points.
You willingly drop the form in order to heal Thalai to keep him alive.
And if you rest in the cart for an hour, and then once Thalai's enlarged drops, you'll have both wild shapes and can then do 4 hours of pulling as like an ox who have really good pulling brute strength.
That's probably a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll finish it off because between the rest of the enlarged potion plus the 2 giant mites I've got, I can definitely do an hour to give you a short rest so you can then take over.
If you're okay with that. And if I take a short rest as well, I can then get back...
Some spell slots.
I can get back a first and a second level for in case I need to make somebody big or somebody fast.
And if Mug takes a short rest, he can believe in you more often. At the moment, he doesn't believe in shit.
All right.
He's too tired to believe.
So the 3 casters plus the 2 heavily injured NPCs are in the cart. The guards are walking. The liar is pulling along, though he looks fucked as all hell as well. But there's no other choice. And the liar does that. So let's go.
The way is a bit slow. As the cart axle is quite severely damaged, it makes going down this steep slope and the rocky path a bit harder to traverse. And definitely an uncomfortable ride for those who are in the cart, but definitely preferable than trying to walk along beside it with their injuries. It does take you the full hour to make your way down the mountainside and finally get down onto level ground, where finally your giant's might will run out, shrinking back down into size.
The lie will collapse.
Throughout the hour, there is no sign of the creatures following you, however. It seems you have managed to get away from them. Or if they are following, they do not have the speed to have caught up with you in that time, having to traverse the path rather than take a leap of faith like you have.
Okay.
Oh yeah, was there any sign of an avalanche or snowfall after the alcohol explosion? At the top?
Not that you're aware of. Nothing came your way, at least.
Okay.
Though, Thalai, with the way you looked at it, it seems that most snowfall down the mountains would have been aimed by the natural design of the mountain straight down into where the town was.
Okay, yeah.
But seeing as the town is all but lost now, anyways, not
Doesn't
really a
matter.
great loss.
I'm gonna press the short rest button.
You
Yes?
push the short rest button.
Okay. I'll also spend some hit dice because why not?
Yep. I will use.
Now that I'm done fixing things for stream,
Uh,
Storm will also do
5.
things.
I will use the
8.
2 remaining giant mites I have just to make sure I do the full hour.
Yep.
Pulling, and when that's all gone, Talai just collapses.
Pulling and pushing.
Talai is
Okay.
exhausted.
Literally. And figuratively. And emotionally.
Okay. I spend 3 hit dice.
Now, I have a question, Ash. Before we left the mountain, did we actually finish a long rest or not?
Up on the mountain before you left, you did finish a long rest, yes.
Awesome. Great.
But you have not had a rest since then.
So no rest after the chase, Atlas.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some spells I can use. Feeling okay. I rolled 2 1s on my hit dice, but that's okay.
For the stream, if you would like to see the map view, just yell at me, because, you know, I can do that. But currently, there's not a lot map going on. It's just world map.
World map.
World map.
Yeah.
World map.
Are we in Antioch right now?
No, sorry. That was me just placing it down, testing that it got to the right size and stuff. You are still just at the base of the mountains, just outside of Monominoto.
I might actually modify that image a bit further.
So
Yep, that's not a problem.
'Cause I don't like it.
We are retracing the path that we took up the mountain, which means we are heading in.
You're heading
that
northeasterly
direction?
at the moment.
Okay.
So currently you're on the right-hand side of that river.
Okay. Going back in that direction now. As now, I'm just going to wait until the end of the day to have this conversation because we're all knackered. Once I get off a long rest, I'm going to hop out of the cart and just walk along and focus on maintaining morale. I'll cast prestidigitations on people just to warm wherever they look coldest, just trying to make sure that the guards who survived aren't dying of frostbite or something.
Well, now that you're down the mountain, it is considerably warmer. It's not warm, but it is considerably warmer than it was up there. You don't have that frostbite of the cold winds biting into you.
Okay, good.
And at this point, the sun is rising, so you're getting into the later stages of the morning, so it's getting a bit warmer as well as the sun comes up.
So, is the plan just to travel for the day? Because it took us several days to get up the mountain, but was that just because it was the back and forth? How many days of travel have we circumvented by just jumping off a cliff?
It wasn't several days, although going up was a lot steeper and harder to traverse than coming down anyways. But you have managed to skip a lot of the travel time going down by jumping a considerable distance down the mountain.
And anyone would think that gravity being on our side is a good thing.
Gravity? Good. Nah, mate. I'm all about velocity.
Alrighty.
So we're away from the more sheer cliff faces and are now on relatively level ground, just going away from the mountains.
So you've given way to the gravelly, smashed rock road of the mountainside to a more dirt-beaten path that has been, specifically made that cuts through not in the forest, but open plains with a few trees and stuff dotted around the area. There is light snowfall on the area, but not much. You can still see the green through it.
I want to speak for everyone, but I get the distinct impression the goal is just to get as far away from there as possible during the day and then rest.
Get the hell out of Dodge. Get the hell out of Dodge.
It's Sam. It's
Also,
your turn.
we're in a
Take over, please.
slight rush because we need someone with, like, remove curse.
You need to get your hands on a cleric.
I don't have remove curse. I just have other things.
So yeah, Mug didn't get a long rest last night. I think him and Thalai just worked through.
No, we still managed to get the long rest.
You
did?
this.
Oh,
Yes.
Because we worked a little bit, we managed to sleep, and then we woke up and finished off the job.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Because when Mug still has sending, so can try and get in contact, and
Well, that was the original plan, yeah.
yeah.
Was to get in contact with one of with the guard captain of the Namaran Demu border
Yeah.
that you had spoken to.
The border town. Yep.
What are you sending to him?
So after I've had a chance to rest, I'm guessing there's a bit of a odd vibe in the camp, so Mug will sort of go a little bit out of camp, so he's not talking about things in front of other people, and go, me is Mug. Me paid for bed. Now need help. Need cleric break powerful curse. Call for help. Mug make worth it. That feels like about 25 words, maybe 20.
Who was counting?
I forgot to. I was just thinking.
I think that was roughly 20.
Yeah, that works.
You pooping?
That's the response you get back. No,
Donuts.
Oh, Jester. You gotta love
Every single
Jester.
time she does that, she just like, what should I just do?
Do, 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 do.
The response you get back is happy to render assistance. Are you at last heading?
I'll cast another spell saying, on way back, be there couple days.
We remember we're gonna ask them to meet us halfway.
Get as soon as possible. Meet on way if can.
The reply back is, we'll dispatch immediately. So help is on its way. You still have a few days' travel to meet up with them, but hopefully, if they are making haste as well, you will get there before the curse fully takes over. Sam, I assume you take over leading the cart for the next 4 hours.
I'm an elk.
Meh.
Even if I'm not, then yeah, I'll take over.
Elk or ox, because we don't necessarily need speed.
I don't think I had the ox. I just had the elk.
Elk is cooler.
Okay.
Or the war horse.
Warhorse would also be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do more research on aminals, but I can do the elk. I don't have an ox transformation. Actually, I do have a question for the group. So there's a wild shape I want to try out. I want to see if this is going to be appropriate. Give me a second. I've got to find the bits for it.
Oh my.
Is it appropriate in style or aesthetics or what?
Style and
Style.
I'd say aesthetics as well, but definitely style.
Then we should probably get Alice's input as well.
Nah. Who needs my input?
Give me a second.
Well, you got a vote so far. If you can change into that, Mug would be very impressed.
Wait, what are you turning into?
Oh, give me a sec. I'm just getting it up. Won't take long.
I'm trying to...
Yeah, we'll let that one slide. Yeah.
What do you think, Alice?
What? Where is it? Wait, what? Oh my Jesus! That's... You know what? I've gone back to fixing things for the stream.
Do you like the bag?
Do you like the bag? It's Gucci. It's Gucci.
Oh my Jesus!
I
Oh God!
accidentally stumbled in upon these guys prepping this.
Gucci. I'm gonna. I have feelings. I have
Morty,
feelings.
I turned myself into a potato.
A potato Sam.
I'm probably still the same size.
That's
Get real
so
here.
good.
It's just a giant potato.
In the last session, you were nearly a mashed potato, so...
What if the Republicans come in and just like, concern?
I really wish Grey Raid was just then.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Pumpkin
no
spice
taste.
latte, decaf, soy, extra foam, no foam, diet air. Mm-hmm.
Diet air?
Mm-hmm.
Becky, look at
Becky.
potato.
Becky, what are they doing? Who is she? Who is she? She came in here and she was just like, I need the toilet. And I'm like, do you not know who I am? I'm Sam Van Buren. I'm a queen.
I will address our issue from the start of the game. We all have ADHD.
Okay, I'll stop.
Oh my God.
And then that gets clipped on Twitch.
I'm okay with that.
My face hurts.
Becky.
I can recover from that.
We traveled down the mountain for 4 more hours with some kind of potato beast pulling the cart.
Is that an attempt at an American accent? That was an attempt at something.
You know what? I'm just gonna purge that entirely from my memory.
Oh,
Actually,
don't worry.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna.
Potato D is gonna be back.
I'm gonna just channel that straight into your gremlin emote.
I think the party needs a Tarrasque. What do you think, Twitch?
Oh God.
I have a mini in the mouth.
Need
and
to
I need to Tarrasque.
Cleanse the palate a little bit.
No. Just,
Colonel, I feel both violated and offended. You're welcome.
just drop a
That's why
rock on the party. Rocks have
Yeah.
a 200-foot wingspan.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Actually, I've seen an amazing Iron Man run of Baldur's Gate 1 ended because they were playing a wild magic wizard, and a cow spawned on their head and killed them instantly.
Wild mages.
And that was something like 60 hours into the run as well. Had to restart.
Mm.
Oh no.
So, plan is would Sam be willing to do 4 hours of pulling, then 1 hour of rest, and 4 more hours of pulling?
I mean, as long as I get a short rest, then I can keep it going. Yeah, for short rest, I get my wild shapes back.
So, can we do that just to get to the end of a day so we can all rest? Because we're all...
Coming up to the last set of 4 hours, I think you'd probably get about 3 hours into it before you're starting to feel the exhaustion of pulling a heavy cart behind you for the better half of the day. So you'd probably be wanting a rest, or otherwise risking the point of exhaustion.
Okay.
But you think you've put enough distance between you and the mountain that things seem safe at least. There's definitely an ease over the party as much of the demo guards move off to start setting up camp on your behalf, going to get wood and start a fire and hunt for some game as well as some berries and food.
I was
Storm will
going
help with
to
foraging.
ask Ash, sorry. On the day's travel, do we pass by any farmsteads that have livestock of any kind?
No, in this area it's actually quite not barren, but just open plains and mostly uninhabited. There's no signs of households or any farmsteads or anything like that along the area.
Okay.
Okay. When we get to the camp, when we get to a place to that camp, I will ask one of the demo guards to set up the tent that I have in the bag of holding, and then ask if they can take. What was the elf's name?
Asami? No.
No, Asami is the woman who is sweet on the elf.
Akira, was it? Or
It wasn't.
Akari is
Akari.
the elf. Asami
I have
is
notes.
the leader.
In another room.
There are
No.
notes!
So, Asira, I will ask Akami if Asira can be brought into the tent.
Switched them around. It's Akari and Asami.
Akari and Asami. Oh my god! Notes should
We
have
just
hair.
we just don't do names ever.
So it's Akari and Asira?
Asami.
Asami.
Did you get that one
Asami
deliberately that badly
No.
wrong?
and Akira. Asami and Akira. What?
Akari.
Can you just send the spelling to Rory? I think Rory's
You're
broken.
doing this deliberately at this point.
I'm not. It's just failing me.
Rory.exe has stopped working. Please restart.
Akari and Asami. Okay.
The babies.
Akari, okay.
We love the gabies.
It's alright, we're just gonna call Thalai Thog at some point again, anyways.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So Asami is demo human. Akari is elven love interest.
Not that they'd ever admit it. And that's how you know that they're shipped. Immediately it's like, oh no, we'd never say it out loud. Yeah, you're shipped.
So-
Hands down.
I will approach Asami and say, I have this tent, and I have a plan. It seems prudent to keep Akari somewhere more sheltered during the night for her own well-being. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think good idea, yes.
We
We can tend to it better in there.
Lovely. I have a plan that I think may be beneficial, but it will take some effort.
Storm's gonna poke over. I go, has anybody done a recent check on her? Is she doing okay?
You just hear in your head from Sam, I'm an ox. So, an elk, even.
She looks her over. I feel no worse than before. At least we were able to cover her most of the way down. I think we're making good time. Hopefully things will go well.
I don't know if I can tell anything different, but do you mind if I check?
Of course.
And
We owe all of you our lives.
No. Maybe
Well,
some
yes.
fireworks, actually. Do you have any?
But no, I do not have fireworks. Fireworks?
If
I
we,
don't think this is a time for celebration.
if we are being entirely pragmatic, Let's talk about that later.
Storm will kneel down and, if I can, do a medicine check just to see
I
how
will
her
assist you.
condition is performing. Assist? Do I get an assist? Does that mean
Yes.
advantage?
It does.
Oh, there's already dice in there. That's a 19 plus 4. So 23.
Um,
Already dice already.
You can see the curse is progressing, though she does not seem any changed from before. She still has that glazing over her eyes and seems very distant and not quite there.
Okay.
Her breathing's quite heavy, but yeah, it seems that she seems almost completely unaware of what you've all just gone through.
Mom spaghetti.
I will take her into the tent, and what can only be described as a massive nerd montage begins. Regardless of what is happening outside, Povek is going to pull out her spell book, other notes. She's going to pull out the Tome of Misspells and the broken pieces of the DOS loot, and have Akari right there. She's going to start by casting Message from the Tome of Misspells, because out of everything, she thinks she knows what this is going to do and what will happen after that.
It's not message or massage, it's missile.
Well, one way to cure an illness.
Boom!
So, casting from the tome.
Yes, I'm casting what is written as Message, but I am smart enough to assume it's probably something else.
Are you targeting someone for it
I
as
will-
you would a message spell?
Target myself.
Okay.
Feedback loop.
You feel yourself receive a rather... a little bit rough, but quite deep massage that
There we go.
deeply kneads into your back and loosens up the muscles. It lasts for 10 minutes,
Okay.
after which you feel relaxed and a bit rejuvenated.
While I am receiving this massage, I'm going to look down at the spellbook and say, "We need to talk."
Oh, you want to talk now, do you?
Oh,
Yes, I do. I do apologize for my less than polite approach previously, but I was rather frustrated by the reality that had come crashing down.
And what reality is that?
That you were not what I thought you to be.
What did you think I was?
An immensely powerful magic item that would allow me to bend reality. You are still
Wow. Now you're insulting me, because that's exactly what I am.
I mean,
well then. Then we are going to have words. And it is my intent to use what I have learned from the animated cursed magic item, the DOS loot, and this intelligent speaking magic item. I will use identify. I will use detect magic. I will use the acts of conversation to unravel the secrets of how this book is animate and speaking and able to act somewhat of its own accord, to attempt to enhance my own awakened spellbook's abilities.
As you start the ritual, I assume you're doing as a ritual for identify.
Yes.
As you get about halfway through, he goes, "You know, if you wanted to know more about me, you could just ask. I recognize that spell."
Well then, I'm all ears. I keep casting.
Me master made me, and me brothers and sisters. There's a few of us about. Shall be meaning to ask. You seem pretty intelligent. Reckon you can help me out?
oh, gonna make a deal. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
What would you ask of me?
Yeah. You seem interested in powerful magical things, and I'm interested in finding brothers and sisters. Sure, we can help each other out somehow.
Are your siblings like you? Are they the volumes 2 and onwards of the tomes of misspells?
Yeah. See? Told you you're smart.
Interesting.
Me master, he is a bit of a practical joker, but he was an incredibly powerful wizard. As you can probably imagine, to make something like me. Fine thing like
Indeed.
myself. And you can see at this, the pages kind of ripple slightly, as if, like, prilling himself up.
Mm-hmm. Where was your master based originally?
That I don't know. Some place of extreme magical power, I assume. I don't exactly have eyes, you see.
Interesting.
The only things I know is what people tells me.
No eyes. That seems like an oversight. I will improve that in my prototype.
He said it was for a purpose. Stop me from, what was the words he used? Too big for me britches.
Well, I'll introduce you to mine once I'm done.
What's this, you show me yours and I'll show you mine?
Don't be so crass.
It's literally for why I was created.
There.
I'm a
So,
practical joker. It's what I do.
so the deal is I locate your siblings and bring you together, and then what for me?
Well, we can kind of combine of sorts. We were originally one big tome, but the Master split us up. Supposedly, we make up his proper tome.
Ah,
Come back together when they're all together. The way I see it, me master's probably long dead. I've been around for some time. So, need a new one.
interesting.
I'm no good just sitting around doing nothing.
I'd be willing to entertain this notion. Are you perhaps able to inform me when your siblings are near? Can you sense their presence to a certain extent?
Oh, yeah, I could detect their magic from quite a distance.
Okay. Who's closest?
Well, not that good of a distance. Gotta
Okay.
get a bit closer.
Okay, well,
But I'll let you know if I sense one about in our travels.
I would
I'm in
appreciate
no rush, I've been around for, what year is it?
it is insert year here.
2,000 years then, give or take.
All right then. It seems like we have an accord. Though I will need to understand some of your additional inner workings that you are not privy to. So, if you wouldn't mind, please allow me to continue my work.
Alright, just no funny touching stuff.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Is it all happening in your head, out of curiosity?
No. Wait,
Okay.
is it? Is it?
He has the ability to either speak aloud or within your head. He kind of switches back and forth between the two.
Okay. And so, from my research of this book and the various other assorted magical items and effects around me, I am enhancing my spell book's features as well as making 2 breakthroughs and learning 2 new spells for my level. And I will work late into the night, probably ignoring everything else that's going on in the camp outside, purely because I'm so focused on my research.
Montage.
Yes, montage.
She did say,
What is it?
or sorry, Rory did say nerd montage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nerd
What is everyone else?
montage.
The best part of that would be if someone walked in with the book using telepathy and Kovac not. They
Yeah.
would have walked in, seen crazy librarian talking to books, and gone, "Yep," and just walked out again.
Yes.
Exactly what we expected.
Only a crazy person would talk to their books.
Wait, doesn't everyone talk to their books?
No,
How do you show your books love then?
by reading them.
By not setting them on fire?
Yeah, that too.
Valid.
Valid.
But they are plants once upon a time. And they all say
They
it's good to
were
talk
plants.
to plants, you know. So, you know.
Alright. By that logic, you could talk to a house that's made of wood as well.
Yeah? You got a problem with that?
It's dead. It ain't talking
You don't
anymore.
talk to your dead?
Brings up a whole weird form of like combination magic.
Well, you don't talk to your dead if you use them like to make rafters. That's just weird. That's a house you don't visit more than once.
That's called a haunted house.
Don't worry, we can exercise those ghosts. I can throw magic knives.
And I can catch magic. Definitely. One day. Maybe.
You've tried. It didn't work so well for you.
I'm just gonna get... just gonna train harder.
And what is everyone else doing for the evening? I assume Thalai is getting a very well-needed pass out.
No, he will set up his tent first, and then actually, no, it's quite nice. He's just gonna fall asleep on the soft grass.
Nice.
Just to. Oh no, he will take off his armor first and pack it nicely, and then when all of that's done, he just goes.
Yeah.
Storm will help with making food for the camp, as she does all the time, every night. And she'll help forage, but before she goes to bed, she will message Barda.
And what are you messaging Barda? Or sending Barda?
Someone want to count me in? Or out? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Barda. It's Storm. We are safe climbing down mountain, but Elf is still sick. So we are going to get Cleric.
You have 3 more?
How are you? I imagine that she does that the whole time when she's doing it too.
Counting it down.
Yeah, just sits there counting her fingers.
You do not get a response.
Since she hasn't been getting regular responses anyway, she's not too concerned, but if it does last a few nights, she will start to get concerned. She didn't get a response the previous night either, did she?
No.
Yep.
Seems something is preoccupying her.
She's getting a little bit concerned, but not majorly concerned.
Either that or Barda is finally tired of Storm's badgering.
Shit.
I mean, she messages her every night.
Right.
You guys left the stone in Storm's care. Of course she's gonna message Barda every night.
Mug wanted to catch up with Asami briefly. Firstly, just check how she's doing. But then also ask for the names of the soldiers that fell in battle. How many made it out?
I believe 4. Yeah, 4 of them made it out, as well as Haru and Botan, which are her 2 personal guard.
So was that about 4 that died then?
Yeah.
Or 4 or 5? I can't remember how many there were.
4
beginning.
died.
4 died, yep. So get the names of the 4 and ask if there's any rites or songs or anything that are said to the dead to wish them well on their journey.
You find her tending to her wounds herself, bandaging up her arm that has been quite severely injured, as well as she has quite a severe wound to her torso where one of the spines had actually hit her. She happily offers up the names, but explains that we do have rights, but they are not performed out here on the field. When we return home, that's when we will see them to rest.
Do you want me to help with your wounds?
I will be fine.
What is
Nothing.
Smooch doing?
I'm
I
just
should be
picturing the cat getting its whole head inside the Pringles container and then freaking out when it can't get it back out again.
That happens to cats very frequently.
Yeah.
See,
Cats and their shenanigans.
Rory has that problem with Smooch and food. I have that problem with fidget and frickin' pencils. I don't know
I have
why,
the
but she wants
problem
to eat all my pencils and paintbrushes.
Yeah,
I
I
have
have
that
no
problem
idea
with
what's happened to all my
toast.
pencils
Just-
for my D&D.
Toast existing.
Like, if I start drawing on my tablet, and I'm drawing, waving the pen around like this, Fidget just comes over and wants to eat it. She thinks it's playtime.
Ignore me, carry on. I'm sorry. I'm just being done with the cat.
Yeah, she replies that she's fine to do it herself. She's tended to her wounds for most of her life.
Oh,
You imagine that there is a certain level of stubbornness to it as well.
Yeah. So Mug turns to starts to turn away a little bit to leave and then turns back and goes, "You do know you did all you could. Lesser choices would mean more bodies."
I know it in a sense, but still, it does not comfort me. There is always the desire to do more.
I've heard it said that the first loss of soldiers is the hardest. Keep those names close, but don't let them burn you too much.
I think, to a certain degree, it has not fully come to terms yet. We are not out of the woods just yet. I will relax once we are all safe.
Hopefully that'll just be in a few days.
I hope so. I do not want to make another tough decision.
And then, turn to leave.
Something else that Storm's gonna do is she's gonna write notes on everything she could possibly remember about the information and the things that they observed about the town and stuff like that. As minor a detail as it might seem, she will write everything down. All in cat because she prefers writing in cat. But it's there.
Alrighty.
And she's gonna try and, I don't know if I can do an intelligence check or wisdom check or something, but she wants to determine whether it shows any similarities to the cursed instruments that they've been dealing with.
You can attempt whatever check you feel you want to try and glean knowledge from. I will give you information based off which one you do.
Pardon me. I don't know what check would be best. Would it... If it's based on her observations of the two various situations, would it be perception or wisdom or?
It could be wisdom. It could be arcana, as you know that the instruments were magical based.
She's not super good at understanding magical items, so I might just go with wisdom if that's okay. Based
Entirely
on
up to you. It will just determine what information you actually get if you are successful.
in that case, she will go and nope, Kovac's busy. Find
Sorry.
mug.
That's when Storm walks in despite Kovac talking to the book.
You're busy.
you
I
wa-
will come back later.
Yes, but I know it's a tent, but knock.
She'll go find Mug in that case and ask Mug for help. Mug, you're really good at magic. Yeah? Okay, not like
I can do magic.
not like Kovac, but you understand magic? I don't know much about magic. I am not very good with magic. I just use element. It's more like nature than...
What are you trying to find out?
Okay. So, I wrote down everything I could think of about everything we've been going through, and you just see it's a bunch of like scribbles that look suspiciously like finger painting. But it's not finger painting. It's just a bunch of like really like squiggly calligraphy, almost like paintbrushly looking marks on a page.
Yeah, chicken scratchings done by cat.
Yeah. I wrote down everything I could think of. And I am comparing the two of these occasions. When we see up on the mountain and when we see with the towns of instruments. I'm thinking if maybe there is similarity.
I know exactly what you need to do. You need to talk to a tree. It's something my mother told me. If you're having a hard time working something out, go find a big old tree and talk to it. Explain everything you know. And just talk it all through and explain everything. Don't refer to your notes, just talk. The tree's not going to answer. But by speaking it, you get to think through things from a different way.
You know, I usually
If
do
the
that.
tree does answer, run back here really fast.
You had her up until that moment where she just like, ugh!
I'm super happy you put that little bit in there at the end. It's like, if it does talk.
Yeah. We got some explaining to do.
I normally just talk to the rock.
Rock can work. But don't have the voice in your head. Don't think. Talk. Speak like you're speaking to a person who doesn't understand. Explain what is happening to the tree or the rock like you're teaching.
I just normally tell everything like I'm going to talk to Barda. All about our adventures.
But
I guess it's similar.
try to make the tree understand.
But I want to know what you think.
What I think.
Yeah. You're smart, aren't you?
I've traveled a bit. I've picked up things along the way.
Okay.
I'm not book smart like Kovac.
But Kovac's talking to her books again.
Maybe she was taught something similar that talking to a tree?
I had not thought of this. Maybe.
I think this group seeks out the weirdest and most dangerous paths ahead of it. At any point, there's a simple path and a difficult path. This group always chooses the difficult. So, what would normally be coincidence is an almost suicidal desire for glory. Perhaps not glory. Perhaps duty. Someone is held hostage by feline.
Yes.
You even got like the hostage pose. Don't shoot, don't shoot.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
She's sussing out my lap. If I touch her, she gets disturbed.
Sussy baka. Ooh. I
don't-
should do that as the potato.
She like sits there like pouting for a second. And then picks up her papers and goes, "Okay!" and then runs away. And you see her sit in front of a tree. A little bit away from the camp.
Yep.
Okay, tree. It's just you and me. You and me. Just us. Nobody else. I have these notes that I wrote. Which... I'll show Kovic later. Roll them up, puts them in her scroll case. Okay, so tree, this is what I have discovered. And she's just going to proceed to regale the tree with every thought that she's had about the situation here, there, and everywhere. And I guess I will roll a history question mark? I don't
Can I add
know.
something?
I don't know what would make the most sense in this situation.
It's entirely up to you.
Not helpful because I don't know.
Then, if you think that it's history, do history.
Sure. Fidget, why are you sniffing my hand? Why are you biting my thumb? I'm trying to get
'Cause-
to my dice.
Maybe Fidget wants to have a Shakespearean insult. Do you bite your thumb at me?
No.
Oh, you look
But I do
cute.
bite my thumb.
You're so cute. Look at you, Fluffkin. She knows how to get my attention, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Any of my intelligence checks are all going to be the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Evildoer, what?
What?
A raid?
Ah! Oh my god, hi! Oh no, they can watch me fail in real
wow.
time. Holy
Roll the
Heck
dice!
yeah!
Hey.
I rolled a nat
Hey,
one,
guys.
told ya!
Wait,
Classic!
So I was gonna.
Live
do
stream,
something.
real time, yo! Thanks for the raid.
I was gonna say Sam's kind of like nearby Storm and just like in their head. I'll try and spot on a voice and says, "What do you want from the tree of wisdom?"
At that, she will jump up and be like, ah! And then just run over to Thog.
I was like, well, that's one like technically I'm nearby, like a bountiful luck, but this is funny.
She got a nat one, man. She ain't figuring squat diddly squat.
So if you're near me, I can bountiful luck that, but you're right.
I rolled a she
Yeah.
bolts and like fur on end hides behind Thog.
He's
Folks just kind of like look around you, darting behind it and go, "What? What is it? Enemies? Where?"
The tree spoke to me.
The enemies? Where are they?
No, the tree. It spoke to me. I was talking to the tree and it spoke back.
Should I cut it down?
No, you might anger it. It apparently is the tree of wisdom.
You see him draw his sword and just start looking from tree to tree to tree very suspiciously. And just as he's looking around the campsite, he's kind of like just pushing you around to stay behind him. He's unsure where to look now.
And Storm is very convincingly like clinging to his back, like.
No.
And he just, "Alright, trees. We've got no problems with you. So hopefully you got no problems with us. I was just joking when I said we'd cut you down. We don't want no trouble. Did they say anything back?
No, they are quiet.
Maybe it worked.
I think so. But just in case, maybe we should give them offering. What do trees like?
I don't know, ask Sam.
Sam!
I'm gonna hide. Rolling for stealth. Rolling for that fell. For stealth. Oh, okay. It's not gonna be actually that good. This is probably karma.
My passive wisdom is 20.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I got a barely over 10. So yeah, you know where Sam is. Sam was like doing the whole like duh. Nuts.
Well, I rolled a 17 anyway.
Yeah, no, I get a +9, but when you roll a 4, it doesn't really go very well.
Yeah.
Sam! Oh, Sam, hi. Sam, what do I give the trees to make them happy?
Pocket bacon.
I don't have any! You already gave me the pocket bacon and I ate it!
Looks like your trees are gonna be mad at you.
No, Sam! And she like grabs your shoulders and like shakes you. We can't make the trees angry!
No, the trees are fine. I'm a druid. I know these things. You're fine. You're good. Don't worry. I'm a druid. Yep, I know these kinds of things. Yep, these are fine trees.
Are you
Fine,
sure?
upstanding city trees.
There's nothing we can give them?
Don't give them fire. Don't overwater them. You know what? These like, look at the trees and then kind of see how tall they are. You know what? These have been going like good for like years. I think they know what they're doing.
So, just don't touch them?
Give them a hug.
Okay.
Every single one.
Oh, why did I have to be a...
Would it be fair to say that Mug has just watched this interaction from a distance?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's not like Storm was
Otherwise-
out of sight or anything.
Yeah, so
Muggle-
give them all a hug. Otherwise, you say your thing. You say your thing.
I was going to say, Mug will send a telepathic message to Sam going, one day this will end badly, but until then, I like it.
Storm like gives you wide
So you get like
cat
a
eyes.
mental high five.
And even though someone's being held up, just somewhere, like just down beneath, someone's doing like a, like the hands are like way down by their sides. It's like, yeah, there's a little mini thumbs up. Yeah, no, you're good. The trees are fine. Or are they?
She gives you like big kitty cat eyes.
Yes. Oh, naturous trees of nature and wisdom, what does thou beseech for thy storm? I'm putting on like a little show or something, and in Storm's head there'll be like, oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, we're good, fam.
Oh, okay. And she like very like sort of like totters over back to Thug, but like keeps glancing
Are you gonna
back
put
at
Sam
you.
down?
Oh, yes, she will put you.
Okay, stay.
No, he's good. Up there.
So that's what it's like to be tall. Oh, neat.
You've sat on the lie shoulders many
Yeah, I know.
times.
I know.
One day you'll see a giraffe and go, oh my god!
The day I can learn to become a giraffe. Giraffe!
Yeah, the moment you see a giraffe, I reckon you'll be able to become one.
Yeah. Alright. Is there anything else anyone wanted to get done?
Just rest, I think.
Rest, yes.
I mean, Sam's probably the most tired out of all of you and needing this rest the most because I'm doing the work, literal leg work.
2 levels of exhaustion.
I didn't
And I
roll bad,
also-
not my fault.
As you settle in to rest for the night, finally getting some sleep, I think most of you will probably fall asleep quite quickly, having had a few nights of restless sleep before on the road here, the exhaustion finally settling in. The guards do the rotation, so keep watch, allowing you all to get a good night's rest, get the extra hours in. You awaken cold, but alive, and mostly safe the next morning. The sun is quite warm this morning, melting what's little bit of snow there is there on the grass. You're still in the dead center of winter, but this particular part of the land does not get much snowfall, even during the middle of winter, so it's not so bad.
Long rest button?
Long rest button.
Yeah!
We
Oh,
get
thank
our
God.
new wafty way of fun things.
Wafty way.
I'm now changing out.
Who here's played Final Fantasy 15?
Nope.
No one knows of the meme of Ignis of I've come up with a new recipe.
Nope.
Is that how we wake up and we're just like, I've learned some new spells?
Storm has learnt nothing.
That's
That she knows of.
The light
Mug-
feels a little bit stronger.
Mug has learned something that he will totally use for evil. I mean, practical jokes.
They're the same thing. What have I now learned? Plant growth, revivify, water breathing, and tidal wave.
Storm
Because
doesn't.
water breathing, you never know when you're going to need it.
Storm doesn't know what she's learned. She will discover it as she needs it.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those, like, this is what I got prepared, but it's probably going to be they come to the situation like, I might have an idea. Just give me a minute. What if we all grew gills?
Uh-huh.
Just throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there.
You wake the next morning. I assume, Sam, you'll be taking control of the cart again.
I have something to do before we depart.
There is something.
Uh,
What is happening?
I'm going to get the attention of Asami. I assume Akari is still asleep or kind of out of it and delirious.
She never seems to be awake or asleep. She just seems to be in a permanent state of trance of sorts.
Okay. I will find Asami. I'll say, I kind of with like slight bags under the eyes go, Asami, I think I've done it. Or rather, I think I can do it.
Do what?
Come with me. Come. And
Are you leading her out of the tent?
I'm leading Asami into the tent to see.
Oh no,
Akari.
she would have been there already.
Okay, so I'll say, I've done my research. I've got my rest. I think I figured out how to do this. So there goes nothing. I will pull my wand from my sleeve. I will speak some new magic words, and I am going to cast Remove Curse.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Because a wizard did it.
Because a wizard.
Alright. You cast a spell and you see the magic take hold, especially around the wound site. It seems to sparkle along it like little sticks of lightning, almost, flipping back and forth, dancing their way along the wound, seeming to center their way around it and diving in under the skin. After a moment, it passes, and it seems at first like nothing's happened. That maybe it was not successful. But after a moment, there's a small cough from Akari, which is the first sign of anything from her
Sign of life.
other than just blank staring and heavy breathing. She doesn't awaken or move or anything more, but it's a bit of a sign. You notice there's a slight lessening to the milkiness in her eyes. It may take some time, but you think you have possibly been successful, or at least lessened, if not 100% successful.
Are the visible symptoms on the wound site, like receding or disappearing?
Not currently. It may take some time.
Okay.
You're not sure it's the first time you've used the spell.
I look to Asami and say, I did my best. I think I've never used a spell before, but I studied her curses I've dealt with previously, and I came up with a prototype spell that would potentially alleviate curses from an individual.
Well, there was something. She responded, at least. That's a first. Nothing else we've tried she's responded to.
I'm happy to try this again this evening when we get to our next campsite, and have hopefully seen an improvement from her during the day.
Hope so. I will keep an eye on her along the road.
If there are any changes, please keep me informed. I wish to take notes.
Thank you for at least trying.
If it's
My pleasure.
If it's okay, Storm wants to find Kovac.
Okay, yeah, and at this point, she would have walked out of the tent and is making a beeline for the car. She's basically going to just crawl under it and start mending it, because she changed out a cantrip to mending, and just going to spend some time fixing the underside to make it more functional. So you can talk to her while she does that.
Okay. Storm will come over. And go, hey, Kovac. Hey.
Yeah.
Kovac.
Yes?
I was going to ask you yesterday, but you were doing this and also talking to your book, which was a bit weird. I thought it better to leave you alone. Do you have a minute?
Yes, of course. Hand me that shard of wood, please.
Storm's like, this one?
Yes. I just take it, slot it into place, and start cashing. And she'll say, "Go on. I'm listening."
But don't hurt the trees, okay?
What happened to the trees?
Just don't touch them, okay? Or talk to them. Don't talk to them. They might talk back.
Have you spoken to Sam about this? They're really the expert in that arena.
Sam said the trees were not mad.
That's good. I'm not concerned.
Okay, but maybe all. Okay, but, and she opens up her scroll case and pulls out her notes. Okay, I wrote down everything I could think of. Everything I had observed. Everything I have looked at and seen and experienced and know, which is not a lot. I've never come across curses before. But I think maybe that what has happened to these people, maybe it is similar to what has happened with the instruments. Do you know much about this?
I gave myself a bit of a crash course on curse removal last night.
Oh.
Yes, I've learned. I've put together a new spell, and I have used it on Akari. It seems hopefully I'll be able to help her to recover.
Oh. Oh, that's good. Oh.
I'll finish that casting and mending, take a page, and go.
It's in cat.
I'll
I don't like common. I can't think in common.
fine. I'll speedy cast comprehend languages on myself,
Mhm.
and I'll then be able to understand what she's written.
Yes.
You're surprised by the level of observed detail. Like, it is down to the littlest detail of observation that she's had.
Ash, is there anything here that I missed?
No, nothing that you've missed. Some different theories, perhaps, from Storm's point of view, but no observations that you yourself have missed. You've both been present for pretty much everything.
Okay. I'm kind of just like lying prone under the cart while going through all your pages and going, all right, yes. Uh-huh. God damn it, Smooch. You are standing on a hard drive, can you not?
Oh, sweet bean. He knows how to get your attention.
Yeah, he's a baby. He's what
He's
he
trying to get
is.
to the Pringles. Get off my printer.
Smidge knows what he's about.
He knows.
Smooch, no, he scoundrel, absolute scoundrel.
So,
We stand some
As
Smooch.
Kovac's reading through the notes, can Storm just sit there and try and recall? Did we learn much about curses at the Xel'nari? Like, is there has there been incidents in the past that they might have learnt about that were like mass cursing, like kind of like what they've encountered with the instrument, where multiple people have been cursed or affected by a curse? Like a
Yes,
mass...
you definitely have learnt of curses to at least some extent. Mass curses were something more talked about in history of the events during wartime.
Smooch, you're licking my phone. Sorry.
Not something that is common. It requires generally either great magic power from an individual or from groups to concentrate to be able to create curses, especially on a large scale. And it has been fairly rare and uncommon for it to come up, at least without some prior knowledge to it happening. There's nothing that you've seen that particularly, or have been educated about, that particularly leads you to believe that these creatures were from a curse, perhaps a spell, but not a curse necessarily put upon someone.
So, what do you think of it?
In what context?
I don't know. Do you think we can help these people? Or are they going to be forever monsters?
What do I think? Can I make an Arcana check on my observations as well?
Storm is of the firm belief, which you would have gathered from her notes, that the people have been turned into these beasts.
Yeah, the creatures themselves may not have been summoned via a curse, but their effect is definitely that of a curse once the bite takes hold.
She's just not sure. She's like, that's what the link she's missing is how this has started, where this has originated from, and that's where she can't, like, she doesn't know because she doesn't understand enough about magic and stuff.
I rolled a 27.
Alright. Without seeing or waiting to see what effects you remove curses upon Akari, you're not sure if you'll be able to recover the others if that is what has happened to them. You know that the bites that you guys suffered did not inflict any curses upon you, so you are not sure what actually inflicts it or what causes it to happen. You're not sure if it is once they have been killed, or if there is some other effect that takes place, or perhaps it's actually something unrelated. You're not too sure. Not knowing how the curses have been actually transferred to the people. Once you study Akari and see how she reacts to the remove curse, you will be able to make a better conclusion on it. But you also don't know if the other creatures were the townsfolk or just simply the creatures.
Okay.
Did Akari's effect seem to have slowed their progression based on previous information from the time we, like, the further away we got from the mountain?
No, it seemed to have no effect whatsoever.
So it wasn't
I'll-
the storm or anything.
I kind of prop myself up on one shoulder and say, it's honestly very difficult to say. At this point, we're on the edge of a very fascinating discovery. I'll be keeping a close eye on Akari as she recovers. I highly recommend you do the same. I greatly appreciate your insights, and you do quite often notice initial details that I miss. So perhaps the two of us together in observing how Akari recovers today and going forwards, we can come up with a better functional theory and perhaps present these findings to a mage more qualified than I and see if they can suggest a solution.
Storm looks weirdly happier than she should be in this moment, but you can tell she's trying to contain it and hide it. And she's like, okay, I will help.
Are you feeling strong?
I am not strong. I mean, I am fine, but I am not like Thog.
Okay, well then, can you go and get me Thog or Thalai? I need someone to just lift this portion of the cart for like a minute while I fix it, right?
Okay. And she'll like totter off to go get Thog and Thalai. And she's like skipping a little bit in her step.
Speaking of the cart, looking it over, whilst you're able to use wood that you have spare or available from the trees to repair that part, you notice underneath that two of the metal bands that hold the suspension together have actually snapped and one has come clean off. One you could potentially repair using mending, but the other is missing. So whilst you'll be able to effectively repair most of the damage to the cart, there still is some work that will need it to be done back at town.
What I'm able to do is better than nothing, so I'll take it.
Alrighty. So who are you going for, Storm?
Thalai.
Yeah, she'll go to Thalai. And she skips up to you and like looks a little too happy and then stops. Goes, Thalai, Kovac needs your help.
Okay.
Are you okay?
tired. I'll
She
get
like-
up and follow.
She, like, before you get up, puts her paw on your forehead. Like, feels for your temperature.
You get cute little toe beans.
Yes, you do. She has toe beans. You're not super hot. Just tired?
Tired.
Okay. Kovac needs you to lift something. Should I get Thog?
I can do it.
Don't
I'll go
overexert
over.
yourself if you need rest. You
Well-
fought hard yesterday.
It's fine. I'll go over to the cart.
Okay.
Easy enough for you to give it a lift.
Well, is it? Because I have disadvantage in all ability checks at the moment, Ash.
Mhm.
So,
But you're not pressured under time or anything to do it.
okay. Just thought I'd double check. That's all.
Yeah.
You can
No,
take
if
your
you
time
are
and
pressured
can
under
rest
time,
and-
definitely. But you've got your time to just lift it up and use countermeasures if needed. Counterweights. And able to give Kovac the help that she needs to be able to finish off what she can do to repair the cart.
As she pulls herself out from underneath, once her fixing is done, she'll properly see Thorlak for the first time and go, "You look suboptimal. Are you well?"
Just tired.
I suggest you ride in the back today. The cart should be able to take it.
fine. I'll be fine.
You will be no good to any of us if you are not well rested.
I'll be fine. I promise.
All right, if you insist. I'll go and try and find everybody else because we don't actually know what we're doing or where we're going. So,
Well, we do know
We're heading towards the outpost.
okay.
For the moment,
Sure.
heading towards the cleric.
I wonder if the cleric will do a better job of the spell than me.
At the very least, we could do with some holy water.
That could help as well, yeah.
A lot of holy water.
Although putting holy water on Akami might just like burn her at this point.
Just kill him.
Yeah, but
Burn the
we could
witch.
definitely use it as something to help us if we want to go back there, and we might need it in the future. We don't know.
Indeed.
Holy water's always helpful.
Yeah. So, we didn't have a beast of burden.
No, you do not.
Yeah, we do. We have
Sam.
a druid.
I want to just.
Sam is your beast of burden.
It seems so rude to keep asking Sam to just pull the cart for us.
Well, until we can find a farm to purchase a beast of burden, that's the option.
Do you consent to this, Sam?
Hello,
Adi,
Sam.
Adi, the Adi.
I'm here. What? Brain?
Do
Are you
you,
asking if I'm gonna continue doing the cart thingy?
Mm.
Yeah. It's kind of it's one of those like, if I have to.
Just
It should only
Like,
be
it's
for a
coming.
couple of days.
Yeah, just
This
all
we're
we
getting
can purchase-
tight. Couple of days.
It's just all we managed to find a beast of burden we can purchase to pull.
Hold on. Do I have a spell for this?
Conjure animals?
As well. I can get that prepared up so I can make other things do it.
Yeah, but also, how long does that last?
Yeah, that's not the
Probably
Where
not
is my
enough.
An hour. I believe.
Nah, it's not going to be as good then.
Well, mix of both. You pull the cart, and then when you take that short rest, then you conjure an animal to pull for you.
Do you even have it prepared? I don't. So I'll have to do it this day and then prepare it next day.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go fiddle with some spells. It's like... I literally said I wasn't going to be the workhorse, and what am I now? I'm the workhorse. This is... like, Sam just got off into grumble mode, but just kind of just doing it anyway because it knows it's needed.
So you hear an elk kind of grumble into itself.
Oh,
The
Storm.
tree in Storm's head, they'll just hear the tree of wisdom will hear of this.
She just, like, immediate ears down, tail between her legs.
Sam can be petty.
Really? We had no idea.
Never could have guessed.
Storm also comes over with offerings of the best bits of the food meals to Sam.
Yeah, I can summon 2 beasts of challenge rating 1 or lower, 1 beast of challenge rating 2 or lower, so... I'm just trying to see which ones are probably the best.
Alright.
Giant elk! Yeah, let's go for a giant elk.
Draft horse is challenge rating a quarter.
to get 8.
Summon.
Oh, I can summon 4. I can summon 4 of those, but I mean, it depends how many we actually need.
We can.
Or we'll ease the load and allow you to move faster.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
How long? How long does the summon last for? An hour?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it does. So
Where is
you
it?
start
Where
making
is
your
it?
way back out on the road.
Yeah, concentration 1 hour.
After about an hour, Storm, you're the first to notice it, closely followed by Sam. You
Storm's probably riding on top of the cart.
you at first get the feeling of being watched, but afterwards you occasionally see just a flicker of shadow out of the corner of your eye, off on the wood line. Now, it's not heavy forest here or anything like that. It's just occasional trees and some low shrubs. But you occasionally see something, as if something's just in the corner of your eye, and whenever you look over, you've missed it. But after a while, you do catch sight of a large wolf-like creature that seems to be completely enshrouded in black shadow. It seems to be running at a distance from you, but alongside the cart, keeping exact pace with it.
Storm will watch it for a second. Can I do a perception check on it to, like, I just want to say, like, does it look like the same as the ones in the mountain, or is it completely different?
No, this looks like a large wolf-like creature.
Okay.
No big tail coming off the end with spines or anything, and it is
So
pitch
not
black.
scorpion dog.
No, not scorpion dog. Wolf, like a dire wolf.
Wolf, but pitch
in size,
black.
but pitch black, and it looks like it seems to be made up of smoke almost, as you can see black tendrils of smoke coming off it
Oh,
as
no.
it runs along.
Is there a check that I can do on that to see if I can still work out what kind of creature it is?
You can
Hi,
roll a
Muffin.
perception if you want, or nature if you want.
Okay.
Can I do a history check?
Mhm.
To see if
I'll do.
have read about anything like this in the past. Whoops, with
Has it
COVID.
been pointed out to the rest of us?
Nat 1. I have
Not
no idea
just
what
yet.
this is. Storm,
22. You can get bountiful luck.
what does that mean?
You get to
Reroll.
reroll.
Storm will tap the top of the what's that thing called? What are we on? A cart.
Tarp.
Wagon.
Tap the top and she'll just say, "Company to the west," or whatever direction it is.
To the east of
That's-
you.
Oh, east. Sorry, 15.
As
just a 15.
As Sam, you're walking over, Harrow actually moves up beside you and walking alongside you, and he goes, "Yeah, you've seen it too."
And I'm an elk currently.
Mm.
So
You're looking over. He's just talking.
yeah, it will be the brain message. Oh, it's gonna be the first time we're gonna hear an elk talking to them in their head.
Well, they would hear it as your voice.
Yeah,
Also,
But it's like, oh,
but-
hey, it's me, the elk. Don't worry, this is normal.
not
I rolled a 22 overall for nature check, by the way.
It's definitely not a natural creature. It's not something that you've seen before.
I
And
rolled
what was your history? Sorry,
a 15 for history.
15.
I presume not something
You
I've
have you have definitely seen in your school books things about shadow-like creatures. This could potentially be a shade or some other similar-like creature, but you haven't got a good enough look at it to really be able to tell exactly what it is. But you have a fairly good understanding of what it could be.
Okay, she is going to keep her eyes on it and not let them waver. Like, she's just keeping it in her sights. And she's tapped on the side of the... or the top of the thing, and to get everyone's attention, let them know.
We could all just like Scooby-Doo our heads out the back and have a look ourselves.
As you look at it, it is almost as large as a horse, so it is quite big. But yes, shrouded in the dark wisps, and it is keeping pace with the cart, and keeping an exact distance as well. It does not seem to be looking over and acknowledging you, but just running alongside.
About how far is that distance?
About 60 feet.
Okay.
It probably knows there's a lot of people around, so it's trying to find an opportune moment.
And we are in Demu territory, yes?
Yes. No, sorry, you are in Namaran territory at the moment.
So shouldn't we... Yeah, sure. Okay.
Storm, once everyone else starts to get an eye on it, will actually tear her eyes away and look for any others. Is it,
Mark,
is it hurting us?
Upon you looking at the creature, you've heard stories of them before. They go by a number of different names. The Namarans call them run-alongs. But the name that they most commonly go by is nightmares. They take a number of different forms. They could be a dog or a horse, or something similar. They are both here and not here at the same time. They have no physical form. You can see them, but they exist entirely upon the astral plane. They are used as scouts. As they make good scouts, as they cannot be normally attacked.
So they don't appear naturally, what you mean? Is
They're not a natural phenomenon. No,
Yeah.
they have to be summoned. And it's usually summoned using a sacrifice. So someone, somewhere out there, wants to keep tabs on you.
I'll relay the information. There's two options here. One, someone here has offended a grandmother by not finishing their dinner, and this beast has come to seek vengeance. That's
That would
one
come in
option.
the form of a thong. A giant thong, just...
I assume there's tons of fairy tale urban stories like that around the place. Or the other option is some powerful person or group has sent this to keep track of us. It's not really here. It's mostly on another plane.
Can I roll a history check to see if I know of any powerful organizations or individuals who would
I know of one.
be active in the area doing something like this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Can I roll that perception check to see if I see anything else?
If you want.
Yeah. I mean, I
17.
presume probably not, but that's
What
what
was that,
Storm would
sorry?
do.
22?
I rolled a 17.
17. You have heard stories of them, never seen one yourself. Although you have definitely heard stories of them being used in Barovia, your homeland. Typically used by powerful underworld figures that want to spy on their oppositions. As it is only summonable by using a sacrifice, it is generally seen as a forbidden thing and a shunned thing, as you need to kill the animal in
Taboo.
order to summon it as a nightmare.
In my experience, would I know if such an effect could be dispelled, or is it too powerful for them?
You are not sure. It's not something you've heard of or tried.
Nightmares. Yeah.
This
And Mug is going to send a telepathic message to Sam the elk, explaining, the creature's generally summoned by a powerful magic user. Would your father use tactics like that?
Probably. Was Sam let known that the previous hunting group that tried to find Sam had that amulet of like blood or something to help? So they had magic at their disposal. If someone was made aware of that, obviously it would very much be like, well, very potentially if that group of hunters, this could be a tactic. Who knows?
Yeah.
They've got all sorts of tricks and magic, and maybe it's not us they're after.
I will turn to Asami and say, could they be here for you?
It's possible. If Godfrey has got wind of us, if everything up on the mountain was he's doing, then he would want to keep a close eye on us.
Mug's going to do something daft, poke his head out the wagon and send a telepathic message to the nightmare and go, "Hey, who sent you?"
There's no response.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to react in any way, shape, or form. And it just continues running alongside you.
Could we damage the creature?
It doesn't actually exist as such, so it's very hard to damage.
At that, Harrow kind of jumps in as well. I've tried to kill him one before. Arrows just pass straight through it. It has no physical form. We can see it, but I don't know.
Magic's probably in their head. It's like magic's probably the best suit to attack it, but even then, shrug. Dispel magic.
If I try and dispel it and it doesn't like it, is it able to attack us, or is it purely a scout?
As far as I know, only a scout. I've never been attacked by one, even the one that I faced off.
All right.
When it knew that I was aware of it, it ran away, but...
I'll poke my head at the side of the cart, make sure I've got a good bead on it, and I will cast Dispel Magic.
At what level?
What range is the spell magic as well?
120 feet.
Okay, it's got the range here.
Yep. I don't play wizards, I don't know these things.
What level are you casting it?
Third.
Third level? Alright, can you roll, please?
Okay, Dispel Magic, details. Okay, so it is I need to roll...
And Kovac? Mug believes in you.
Oh, thank you. So this is an ability check using my spellcasting ability.
Yep.
So I add 5 to this, and a d8.
Yes.
D8. Oh, D8's gone up now.
It was at a last level. Yeah.
That is a total of 16.
Alright. You see the creature running along, bounding, and then as its front legs come off the ground, it seems to just evaporate into nothingness. your spell was successful.
Right.
Did I see anything with my perception check, by the way?
Nothing else other than the creature. You saw that it was definitely keeping pace with you and definitely keeping that exact distance from you. It seems that it was definitely intelligent enough to know exactly what it was after.
Because I rolled a 30.
Oh my god.
You saw everything that there was to be seen.
The third and fourth wall.
The fourth wall has some holes in it.
Multiple.
Mhm.
Mostly made of gnomes.
Stop! Nom nom! Stop! You're
Yes,
summoning
as
ancient
it evaporates away, a gnome is left in the air, running like a dog,
Oh,
falls to the
God.
ground and dies. No.
God damn it. Gnomes will become her nightmare.
I think that's going to be the whole party's nightmare.
A
Oh
gnome
god, Kit's
there.
here! I was about to say Kit's not even here, but Kit is here.
God, it's definitely here.
It can smell a gnome from several kilometers away.
Mhm.
Alright. You were able to dispel the beast.
In my experience, do I know of any like magical residue or some kind of evidence that could be left behind by the dispelling of a creature that I could gather?
Well, Mug was going to go over and check it out and see if there were tracks or anything, so...
Not of your knowledge, but this is something that you haven't dealt with before, so...
Mug, I'll put Wisteria on your shoulder and yeah. I'll gaze through her eyes if you're going to talk over there.
Yep. I'm assuming because they're not really on the material plane that there's basically nothing left.
There is something when you get to the site of the creature. There is a large shard of obsidian that is carved into the form of the dog. It almost looks like a fossilized or petrified skeleton in the carving. That is all that's there. There is no footprints otherwise, or no other sign that the creature was ever there.
I'll reach a hand up for Wisteria to sort of climb on and then bring it down to get a close look at the stone.
Can I make an arcana check through Wisteria's gaze to see if I recognize this?
Mhm.
Okay. Oof, bad, not great. 14?
Looking at it, you imagine it's some form of channeling artifact used for it. Possibly to allow the spell to continue over great distances, rather than whatever distance the spell is normally bound by.
Is there any words carved into it?
No words, just the
Okay.
obsidian graving.
I just yell from the cart. Carefully collect it. I'll examine it in person.
Oh, yeah. If I have gloves, pick it up with gloves. If not, I'll use some, like, sticks to sort of hold it.
Yeah.
And
I
bring it
imagine
back
a
to the
fine
wagon.
gentleman as yourself has a pair of gloves. You can feel, even though it is obsidian, it feels almost brittle to the touch. You'd imagine that if you applied too much pressure to it, it would probably crumble in your hand.
So yeah, carefully bring it back, and yeah, just say it's pretty fragile, and I don't really want to bring this with us. So let's examine it and then destroy it.
Yes. This will take 20 minutes.
Ritual cast detect magic. Ritual cast identify.
Precisely.
Can you do
And
that
I'll-
on the cart so we can keep going? Because I don't know how long the magic of the animals lasts. Sam.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. So yes, I will I will cast all the spells. I will borrow Mug's gloves for the identify portion.
They're
Learning from your mistakes.
they're sort of big and slip around on your presumably dainty fingers.
Long yet slender. And
All right.
yeah.
You sense the remnants of both conjuration and transmutation upon it. Upon a casting identify, it is a stone used to house the spell, similar to how your book now works, allowing it to travel distances. However, this allows it to travel considerably further from its host spell caster, or its master, rather than being restricted by range.
Interesting.
You imagine it can only hold the magic for a certain amount of time, however, before it crumbles to dust, as you can feel it is already starting to do.
I will take as thorough notes as I can, because understanding forbidden magic is a wonderful way of fighting it. It can make my dispel magics better. I can learn to recognize it better. So even once I am done with that spell casting, I will prop it up on the little work table to take a careful sketch and record notes. And then once I'm satisfied, I will say, okay, who wishes to do the honors?
You actually think upon looking it over and identifying it and studying its magic, that with practice and the right application and tools, you may be able to replicate it.
Does that mean needing to do a sacrifice as well?
Not the sacrifice part that actually summons the creature, but the vessel that holds it.
What kind of spells do I think I could cast through an item like this?
You're not sure yet. You'll need to examine it more. But things that require distance and longevity may be useful.
So if I learned a conjuration spell like there's like a summon shadow spawn spell that could be a possible thing to take.
Or even conjure animals could potentially.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Yes, I will take as thorough notes as I can, and oh boy, no, we can't keep it, because then they can use it as a focal point for tracking in other ways. I will extract as much information as physically possible, and then I'll just say, okay, I'm content. This can be destroyed now.
Mug takes it out the back and just like stomps it underfoot, and then looks around for some grass to like wipe the bottom of his shoes.
It doesn't even give up any opposition whatsoever. Your foot makes contact with it, and it just crumbles to dust under your weight.
Storm is gonna burn the spot that it was in.
Mug will sort of jump out of the way a bit.
She's sitting on top of the. She's sitting on top of the cart like gremlin, like this.
Yeah.
And just one hand is like.
Yep.
All right. Haru moves back along the cart over to Kovac and goes, "How did you defeat it? You just pointed your hands at it, said a few words, and it disappeared." And I chose the right time to ask.
Oh, the one time you asked Kovac about magic and academic things, and she's speechless.
I'm quite practiced in the arcane arts. I have been studying for many years.
You lot continue to surprise me. That's for sure.
Do you not have arcane spellcasters where you are from?
Yeah, in the High Courts, it's mostly forbidden throughout the land, but there's a few here and about.
Oh. How short-sighted of you.
Hmm.
It is enforced by law of Godfrey.
How short-sighted are the lawmakers. Though it does seem abundantly prudent to keep those beneath Godfrey weak and uneducated.
Now you understand why we oppose the bastard.
Indeed.
Other than the whole, any gestures to you all. Again,
Diversity.
that's one word for it.
In Kovek's head, you'll just hear from Sam the elk being ask them if they know the top level slavers in the business who might have access to something like this. You know the ones I'm talking about.
I will repeat the question.
There's a number of different slavers. Is there a particular group you're after?
Anyone who could do this, and I'll...
We have their name. I just can't remember it.
Was it something serpent, or I can't remember?
No, it wasn't something serpent. That was if I remember correctly, that was the shipping group.
So, we're looking for the people who your father hired?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ones
That
we
name!
killed mercilessly.
I'm pretty sure I wrote down in my notes.
I'm checking mine too.
My notes are in
Oh, it was
there.
the East Coast Amaranth, and that's not the ones we're after.
That was the trading group.
That was the trading company, so that's not it. Going back through notes. Oh dear, have we forgotten it again?
We forget everything.
Slowly but surely. I am looking in my notes.
Well, also, in our defense, it's been a couple of months, whereas for the character, it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't have it in my notes, I'm sorry.
I don't have it in my notes either.
I'll drop it in the lore thing later, but
Cheers. And then I'll add it on to my notes to make sure I actually got it. Because the East Coast Amaranth, that was the bad trading company that was like using the thing as disguise.
Yeah, disguising it as a legitimate operation, but have been known to have illegal tendencies.
Okay, so I say the name of the dodgy mercenary company that Kolek absolutely remembers, but I do not.
I know I've got it somewhere, but all my notes are all over the place.
That's the thing. None of us have it directly to hand. It's like 20 minutes later.
That's right. No, yes. They are to be feared. Why are you looking for them? I would, especially with your lot, not be tracking them down. I'd be avoiding them as much as possible.
Oh no, they are trying to find us, I think.
Yes, they are. They have business with us. We would much rather they disregard this business, but they are persistent.
In her head, she'll just hear from the elk. They have a contract to hunt down my sibling and are using me as leverage. By the way, I'm the elk, the small druid. This is normal. I was going to add to anyone new. This is normal.
Also, if they have been sort of like kept away from non-humans, we are far from like an average example of.
We're so weird, you guys.
There's no human or elf in this party, which is odd. The most normal thing we've got technically is like me.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree, and even then it'll be like it'll be Thalai next. So you're just more like a giant human-ish thing.
I
Yeah.
would argue that Mug would be more normal, more.
Yeah, Mug technically half orc.
Yeah.
50% normal, 50% freak.
And
Balance.
I'm missing my 50% normal. That's where my height went.
I'm blue. You're grey. She's furry.
Firstly,
You're
are we
small.
color-coded?
And together we fight crimes.
Yeah.
That's the catchphrase.
Small, big, blue, green fuzz. With a small, big, blue, green fuzz. Oh, that's literally a thing because fuzz means police.
Great.
Look, I did a thing.
Aren't you a smart little potato?
Hold on, let me get the filter back on. Let me get the filter back on. It's Gucci.
Oh my god.
I had so much fun with that the other night.
Herding cats.
So much fun.
I am still bewildered.
Yeah.
Well, by the potato.
Yeah, it
Oh, by
hurts my
the-
soul.
I love the potato. It's like my true self.
The worst thing,
Potato.
there were more than just that type of potato. There were multiple potato filters he had.
There were many potato filters. That's just my favorite one.
You know what? No, this is for after stream. I just
Harry ponders for a moment. Your sibling is in great risk then. Hopefully it is just an order for capture. But their leader is ruthless and they are well known for accidents happening with their slaves.
Well, we're not going to... Actually, no, that's a mental message. Actually, no, it's
no,
a
that
one-way...
would-
It's only a
Yeah, so
one-way mental message.
He is talking to an elk, which he is finding very weird, and the elk is talking back to him in his mind. So
And
it's
we're only
also
hearing one
strange
part of the
situation.
conversation.
Half the it's like listening to your mum on the phone or something. You're only getting half the message, like half the conversation.
Yeah.
And they were roommates.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for any other of the creatures or things that could be spying on us.
Yeah, so
It's
imagine
also-
if one is there, then there's more likely to be another.
The other big question, of course, is it us they are hunting, or is it you they are hunting?
At this point, it could be either. Or, as you say, your sibling evil, they could be keeping an eye on you in case you lead to it.
Storm will chime in with, "At least you weren't actually here, Sam. You are an elk."
Yeah, sure. I love Smooch. She's like, I want to get in the boat. I want to get in. Adorable.
So, actually, I'll say to the group, if they do come back again, we might be able to check who they're actually tracking.
Yes, indeed.
If we split up, we see which one they keep pace with.
I don't like it, but it's smart.
The wise choice.
Asami, have you thought much of what you plan to do from here? Once Akari is seen to, that is.
For the moment, go into hiding. Make contact with what little allies we have left. Rebuild.
Do you have a household in the Demu lands?
Though, if they have caught wind of us, then it is no doubt been seized already.
Could you seek asylum from an organization such as the Xel'nari?
Is an option. Though, Whilst the demo have been peaceful with the Xel'nari, it has never been an alliance. Or anything even close, and of late things have been tenuous at best.
If you are known as an enemy of the current demi regime, would you seeking asylum with the Xel'nari be seen as justification for the Demo Empire for becoming more aggressive towards us?
That is also a concern. With Godry's current state, I think he's just itching for a reason.
Hmm.
But as I said before, he does not have the armies to fight the Xel'nari.
Of course not.
Maybe now is time to talk about peace or alliance with others?
I could try, though Namara has also been equally distant of late. I can understand why you thought that we were setting up for invasion. There has been talks of it amongst the higher-ups for quite some time.
Oh dear.
Godfrey has always wanted to claim more land. Funny, he insists that by right it should all be his, but even the demo is not rightfully his.
This individual makes me uneasy.
He is ruthless.
You should tell us everything you can about him so that maybe we can help. Or at least be prepared.
Well, I'll do what I can. As you know, the demo has always been slavers for as far back as I can remember. But Godfrey really pushed it to a whole other level. He started the true hatred towards others.
How
He
long
treats-
has he been in power? In complete power?
64 years?
He must be elderly.
He is. But his sons are just as bad as he is, if not worse. They are set to take the throne next.
Is there a clear front runner amongst these sons?
Not yet.
Oh.
Which just makes it worse. They'll all be vying for getting Daddy's favor.
And committing acts of barbarism to get it.
Exactly. That's why we thought it wise to strike soon. Cut them off before they enact whatever heinous things they've got in mind.
Would it be possible to vie these brothers against each other?
Very likely.
Civil war doesn't lessen the amount of bodies lying in the streets.
That is true.
It just means they look like you.
I can only imagine the quantity of enlisted soldiers who would fall on the front lines of such a conflict.
Oh, it is far worse than that. Godfrey uses his slaves as the front line.
That is exactly what I was saying.
That is awful.
Why sacrifice what he calls pure bloods when he could sacrifice atrocities?
Full-scale war is not viable.
If you rescue the slaves, they are likely to attack their former masters, which still leads to bloodshed.
Many of them probably have no mind of their own anymore, been in servitude for so long. Maybe a blessing to them, to be honest.
It's not go down this road.
I hate to say it, but I don't think it is up to us to make these decisions. I think we should take it to someone more experienced than we are.
I was not aware we were making decisions. I thought we were discussing options to assist a friend.
I know. And I think we should seek advice from someone who has maybe faced more war than we have.
What if your leaders? Diplomacy has always been their strong suit, and a show of force has been their secondary.
That is why we were dispatched.
We were to come to talk to you about peace. About maybe not invading and instead maybe make treaty and alliance. But circumstance shows that our presumptions were incorrect and that maybe you could use some of our assistance instead.
Perhaps that is my next point of call then. To head back to your fort. And make a plea with your Grand Masters.
From my experience, they will at least hear you out. And from what we have heard, I don't see why they wouldn't help as best they can. Overall, the Xel'nari often just wants peace. So, I think if we can help with this, we will.
With this conversation going the way that it's going, I'm gonna hop out of the cart and walk around to the front, up with Sam, and just whisper, I assume you're hearing what people are talking about.
Hydrate.
Yep, sure. Why not? Let's go with that.
It seems our path is leading us back towards home base.
Back towards home base.
We did have our own intentions towards traveling to that urban city.
We could offer it as some form of neutral detour, but that's going quite far off track.
It's going through the entirety of Namara to another kingdom.
I mean, when we meet the cleric, we might be able to do something like we did last time. And have a look at where my sibling might be and see if it cross hatches. Because if I remember correctly, that's going to be before we get back to the Xel'nari. Like, we're going back to the base we stayed at the hotel, stayed at that to get a cleric.
But at our HQ, I believe there was a power amplification room that allowed us to join in with the ritual.
I think you're correct.
I don't think a cleric on the side of the road, even with the power to scry, would be able to check on someone they've never seen before.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with us escorting Asami back to home base and making?
This unfortunately takes precedence. We can't just suddenly do an entire diplomatic. No, this is too important, too much.
Okay.
This is too big.
Hopefully, we can find a way to travel to and help your sibling next.
Yeah, this is not ideal, but we must do what we must.
You hear from inside the cart. Korvac!
Yes?
Korvac, come in!
I'll...
Sami.
Yeah, Go back around.
Storm has been laying on top of the cart, and when she was talking to everyone else, she'd poked her head down.
Mm.
So she was still on top of the cart.
Eavesdropping on me?
Yes,
She
she
would
was.
definitely have been able to hear the conversation.
Damn.
But I could only hear Kovek's side.
You can only hear half of it, so
Yes.
it's going to be like, that's confusing.
Yeah.
I'm glad I kept it to they and sibling then, the entire time I was speaking.
Yep. But she knows that you guys are concocting something. She's observing.
On to you.
That's okay.
As you step inside, you see Akari kind of propped up a bit. You can definitely immediately see that the wound has receded, considerably so.
Oh, at this, Storm will swing down and can I do a medicine check on her condition?
You weren't called in.
I know,
You wouldn't see this.
but she's still on top of the cart.
Hmm.
I mean, I did promise to include Storm in this, considering how curious she was. So upon seeing that, I would call Storm inside and say, Storm, we have progress.
Okay, and in that case, she will jump in.
inside, yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, you can make a medicine check.
She just
I'll
wants to
continue
see
through.
what the progress of her healing is and stuff.
I'll help you.
Her eyes
Well, good,
far
because that's
less
a 1.
glazed over.
That dice has rolled 3 1s tonight for me.
Her eyes are less glazed over. Still a faint fogginess to them.
It's a 13.
Okay. The wound itself seems to be closing up.
Oh, that's fucking dice is cursed.
The wound itself seems to be closing up now that the curse has receded.
See.
Shut up.
Hydrate, guys.
Yeah, that was a while ago. My
Oh, was it?
hydrate is empty.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, it has a sip.
oh, there is a new command.
A lot going on.
You were saying about her condition improving?
God damn it, Kettle. So yes, the wound itself, now that the curse is easing off, seems to have been healing. It itself will require separate medical attention now that it is no longer stain opened, and will require its own medical ointments or cells to heal itself over, which Storm can potentially apply now that she's done her check. But the furs are definitely starting to recede, and the decaying look of the skin seems to be receding as well. So it definitely looks like she is on the mend, and quite quickly in comparison to how long it was taking to take control over her.
So, I don't think I need to apply further applications of remove curse to ensure her well-being.
By
Once
the
was enough.
looks of it, it looks like it was successful.
Yes.
And it's just time will set things right.
Kovek,
Yes,
it seems to be getting better. But
I agree.
maybe some practical medicine might be good. You have the herb book, yeah?
Do I have the herb book?
I swear you had a book of herbs.
I gave it to you.
Did you?
Or Sam?
Sam? I can't remember who has it.
Yes, I do not remember who you ended up palming it off to.
It was probably Sam.
Which item again, sorry?
The book of
A-
herbs.
Herbology.
Herbology.
I feel like Sam.
think-
No, I
Sam.
gave it. I thought I gave it to Storm.
Okay then.
Oh, well, then it's passed its way around.
Well, because she was licking every plant she came across. She has been
Yeah,
cataloging.
that's the reason why
Yeah.
She's
we
been
got. I
cataloging
got
plants,
it and gave it to Storm
and she's also been adding,
because
because I remember she was making her own notebook of plants that she was licking and writing their flavors and effects and things. And
So Skyrim.
Is it just 2 columns, which are good to lick, bad to lick?
3 columns and side effects.
That one was added by Kovac.
There's just like tick, cross, and side effects.
Just like every time Kovac finds Storm just like on the ground spasming with foam coming from her mouth, she'll take the time to like write the symptoms and then help.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it'll just be a tick, a cross, or a side effect. Yes.
Ear poisoning, irritation and rash.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till she finds a fur loss one.
Yep. Oh God.
She'll just be wrapped up in a blanket in the back of the wagon for a week, not letting anyone look at her.
I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this.
Mm-hmm.
Not fur loss. Fur
Please
loss
stop,
is
please
worse.
stop.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, she will pull out the book.
Mm-hmm.
Kovac, can you help me make a cell for the wounds to make them more at ease?
Certainly. I'll roll my own medicine check. Heck yeah, that's a 23.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to find around the area some natural, not quite anesthetics, but solvents that will ease off the pain and numb the area and allow it to kind of create a cover over it to let the body naturally heal itself over time
So like,
and stave off any risk of infection. Yes, something like that.
how convenient.
I still have a silver platter in my inventory.
I
Why?
Of course
Because I
you do.
stole it.
Yeah, way back when we originally found it.
I was
Why?
eating
Because
my
fuck
When
you,
she-
that's
charcuterie
when she originally found it.
board or whatever it's called off this silver platter, and I got cranky, so I took the
Yeah.
whole thing and kept eating it as I went along.
okay.
I'm trying to work out what I've got.
So
Everyone.
success. Successful remove curse.
Indeed.
I'm very glad.
She seems to be on the mend. It will take some
so
time,
why?
and having the cleric look over her possibly will help as well.
Mm.
But for all in all, it seems that things are looking up.
Quebec sees Asami doting over Kari and just gives this look, a little cute smile, and she turns away and goes, "No, I must disregard these feelings."
As you look away, you feel just arms wrap around you. You hear her say from behind, "Thank you. She's like a sister to me. I don't know what would happen if I lost her.
Yeah.
Let the others know." Strictly speaking, I mean, I know things are trying to be different, but it's heavily frowned upon to have any kind of friendship or anything with your belongings, I guess they would call it.
Have found myself in recent companionship with someone quite enchanting. I think you would like her.
Storm eavesdropping in the corner.
I'm just glad that she's alive and getting better. Perhaps we shall rest up for a day or two once we make it to an encampment and then head off to the Xel'nari. Is there much you have to do afterwards?
Been compiling my notes as we travel. I will have to submit a report of our journey to our commanding officer.
You said your friend's sibling. was in trouble.
Yes, I did.
You don't need to follow with us. We can make our way to the Xel'nari. You have more
Would
pressing
you
issues.
possess any favor or sway with individuals on the coast?
Depends which coast you end up at.
It was on the left hand. It was on the left hand side. That wasn't their empire.
Not in the
We
Demo
wanna-
Empire.
Go here, and given where we are, traveling around the mountain to the coast and catching a boat would be faster.
Oh. I get you.
If you are able to render us any aid in our journey going forward, it would be much appreciated.
I can definitely sort something out. If you, at least in Demo territory. I will write you up a writ of passage. It will allow you to secure a boat, and for the most part move uncontested. Assuming my name still carries some kind of weight around.
Is this being discussed in front of everyone?
This is inside the cart, so anyone inside the cart will
Yeah.
hear it.
Wouldn't we be going through Namaran territory instead of Demu?
Depends if we. Given where we are in the mountains, it could be a shorter path to the coast via the Demolands, given where we are.
But wouldn't we have to go over the mountains through the town that nearly killed us?
Or go around. I'd rather go around the mountains.
Ash, is it possible to just have the highlight over so we can see where the nation's borders are? If that's
Yes.
still an option.
Right.
Because there's like that portion of Namaran territory. Yeah, there it is.
I think it'd be much quicker to go through and just keep going through the Marin lands.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it would be.
And
Because
that's
in order
likely
to
to be,
reach
like,
the
charged with-
coast, in order to reach the coast through Demo, we got to cross. Looks like at least either go around the giant lake and cross a whole bunch of major rivers, or go through what will most likely be hinterlands. Hinterlands, rough terrain with trees and large rivers till we reach the coastline somewhere down here. And even then, with a writ from this person might not necessarily hold true if they've been declared traitor of the state.
Yeah.
You could potentially find passage to the south in Namara as well, though.
Ash.
Yeah, Namara is probably the safest bet.
Yes.
Do we know of a town along here? Along
No,
this
you are not
coast?
familiar with the coastline.
Okay.
We can talk to the captain of the guard when we meet up with them.
Indeed.
Alrighty. So you have a plan of how to go forward. You've
Indeed.
managed to remove the curse, and things are starting to look up. You have some answers on people following you, though not sure where from. You think you may have a heading. So I think that is a good time for us to leave it there for tonight.
I gotta sleep.
Someone's got.
She was being nice and considerate of family.
Well, Kovac was talking to which one? Amara? Which one is
Asami?
it? Asami?
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The human, not the elf.
Storm was still sitting next to Akari, and she pulls out a flower and goes, I think she likes you. Whispers to her and gives her the flower. That's it. I just didn't want to interrupt the conversation.
She's still not aware of her surroundings, but yeah.
She still gives her the flower, and if she doesn't take it, she'll put it in her hair.
Alrighty. Who we gonna raid?
Damn!
Raid?
But before we do that, we will be back next week, hopefully.
Rory? Are we...
I'm working 11 hours tomorrow, 9 the day after that, and that's assuming that the person for whom I'm working 11 hours is actually back and well again by Tuesday. I cannot give a solid yes yet. It's quite annoying, but I'm
That is fair.
flogging myself silly.
We may see you Tuesday for more Stars Without Numbers,
Fingers
hosted
crossed.
by the lovely Rory. But if not, we will
Otherwise-
see you next week on Sunday, where we're back at it again. We may be a little bit late because I will be working that Sunday, but other than that, we will be back.
Well, when we say late, we mean probably as late as we were today, which was half
You
an
know,
hour.
the usual on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. We will see you next time, whether that be Stars or D&D. Wish you have a lovely night.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
And going to bump us to the
Bye,
end
bye.
screen, and we're going to find someone to raid.
You can
Thanks,
raid Grey.
Yeah, if we can't find someone to raid who's playing D&D, then we'll probably just raid our friend.
Grey raids us all the time, so
Yeah,
I
he
feel like we
does.
should
He
send
gives
back
us
the
a lot
love.
of love.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment I'm recommended for D&D personally.
The only one I can see is Hatohiro.
Let's just go Grey. I mean, I have a completely different option, but that's something completely separate. It's just my main mod is doing an all-a-thon, and it's like his last hour or something, but that's very different.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I guess we're throwing the love out to Gray. He's playing some Fallout 76, so go show him some love. Also, we'll be forcing him to do his VTuber introduction.
Which means get ready to throw things at him.
Yeah,
Throw
interrupt it
things.
all you can. It's great. It's hilarious. All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. Kennel, we will definitely take your suggestion well into consideration because it's freaking hilarious. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.